I just watched a video which was talking about how being pro-black is demonic. And it really made me think about a lot of things. And it really had me reflecting on a lot of things that I've already talked about on this channel. And we should be really looking at what is good versus what is evil. Because if you're pro-black being demonic, it is 100% true, because if you look up the definition of black that a lot of people in the Moorish sovereignty community conveniently overlook it, and Prophet Noble Drew Ali acknowledged that black means evil. Okay, he talked about it in the literature, but you never hear these Moors talking about, or these people that claim to be Moors talking about black meaning evil. Okay, so when we're talking about being pro-black, you're really saying pro-evil. Okay, so that is why it's demonic. That's why it is against nature. Okay, because we need to let go of the black identity and culture, and too many people in the community, or this movement, keep saying Moorish, they keep saying black means, dead in the eyes of the law, civiliter mortuus. They keep saying, but they don't tell you why it's dead in the eyes of the law. They just say it's civiliter mortuus. They don't say why. They keep saying that black means, and they use the etymology, and I'm not disagreeing with the etymology, meaning bleached, pale, whatever, as well as it being an adjective, describing a noun instead of the noun, which would be more. But what they're not telling you is that, in order to be a true Moor, according to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you have to be humane or human. Okay? So we know that black does not align with being human. We know that being a human being is to be civil, is to be kind, is to be gentle. It is to be loving. It is to be compassionate. Okay? That's what being human is. So if that's what being human is, and black means evil, that term would align more with inhuman, which is cruelty, which is, all of the things that cause harm, which is dealing with the lower self. So we're having a distinction. It seems as though we're coming into a time where there is a distinction, or there is a separation between good and evil, obviously. Okay? So we have those people who have a strength of character, have morals and principles that they live according to. And then you have those people who are somewhat hypocritical, because they come in public and they claim to be good, and they think that all that they have to do is convince people that they are good, or pretend that they are good, or make sure that people see the good deeds that they've done, and that's all that's required. But there's much more to it. You have to actually be vibrating at a high frequency in order to be able to properly reclaim your identity. Okay, so we lost our identity. Chapter 47 talks about this, and it says, through sin and disobedience. I'm saying this off the top of my head, so if I misquote it, I'm sorry, I apologize. But chapter 47 talks about, through sin and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery due to the fact that they honored not the creed and principles of their forefathers. And then it says, that is why the nationality of the Moors was taken away from them in 1774, and the word Negro, black, and colored was given to the Asiatics of America who were of Moorish descent, because they honored not the creed and principles of their mothers and fathers and strayed after the gods of Europe of whom they knew nothing. I think I said that mostly correct. I'm not sure. So we need to reconnect with morality and principles, because if that is the reason why we lost the nationality in the first place, signing paperwork is not going to fix the situation. It's not going to make you what you were before you lost your nationality, because you need to prioritize, conducting yourself in a way that is humane towards society, towards your family, towards the community, and so on and so forth. The reason why we are in a fallen state is because we have not decided to heal our individual selves. We have not done the inner work to look within to see, oh, this is what I need to do in order to uplift my situation, my status in society. It is done with morals and principles. I don't care how much you try to avoid it. I don't care what paperwork you fill out. I don't care what you do. You cannot get around law, okay? You just simply have to submit. Islam, people always say Islam means peace. But if you look at the etymology, it does mean peace, but it also means to submit. It means submission. To whom or to what? It doesn't mean just submission. It means submitting to Allah. And when you submit to Allah, you are granted peace. That's what I get from that. You are granted a peaceful existence when you submit to the will of Allah. Okay? So all of these people running around talking about peace, but they don't live according to that same idea. They are claiming peace, but they are doing the exact opposite, promoting all kinds of stuff that are negative and accusing others of things that they're not guilty of. Because we just need to really just sit down and really do the work for uplifting ourselves. We need to uplift fallen humanity. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm saying that I am still a work in progress, but I've been learning from these people for years. And I finally came to the understanding that these people are not really aligned with what they're teaching. They're sitting up on a platform telling people what to do and this and that and this is wrong, that's wrong, but a lot of these people shouldn't be sitting on that platform. They shouldn't be teaching this information because they're not teaching it properly, in my opinion, because they are forgetting the morals and the principles. They're claiming that they're teaching character and all of this stuff. But if you don't have character, if you don't have a heart that is, and I'm learning, and I'm new to most of this information. I'm not someone that has been in this my entire life. Okay, I'm someone that has just recently come into a lot of this information. But I'm not a historian. I am not a religious leader. I am not any of this stuff. I'm just an ordinary person that wanted to learn what was going on around me because nothing made sense anymore. But I just want to say that when I found nationality, I was like, oh, so this is what's wrong. That people are not seeing us as we are, and they have stolen this and they've stolen that. And I realized that all of that is not true. I realized because when you just return back to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and what he said of how we lost our nationality is because we were not clinging to our, principles and that's what led us into slavery. And it makes total sense to me now, because I understand that that is the missing piece. The missing piece is the fact that we don't know what black really means. And for some reason, all over the world, nobody seems to know. Nobody seems to look up the definition of black and see that it means evil and wicked. But we just keep calling ourselves evil and wicked, and we're not getting it. But we keep thinking that, well, they're calling us that because they're evil. Because, you know, they see us as evil and we're not, and da 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 da. And we just need to understand that it's our own deeds, it's our own actions, it's our own, you know, what we're doing, you know, what we're thinking, what we're, you know, where our hearts are. That's what's leading us to continue to do sinful things, you know, that, you know, the prophet said, through sin and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery due to the fact that they honored not the creed and principles of their forefathers. To sum this up, I just want to say that, you know, we've reached the end of this, as far as I'm concerned. It's time for a new day. It's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to get our act together. It's time for us to be better citizens. It's time for us to show up authentically as our authentic selves. It's time for us to stop the wickedness. It's time for us to stop the lower self activity. It's time for us to stop, you know, going after our carnal selves and our carnal natures, because it's just, it's not helping the situation. So I just wanted to share that. And I will provide a link to the other video that I mentioned at the beginning of this particular video if you wanted to refer to that. And thanks for listening.